Fabian perspective expected, so accepted. Zion Williamson's Pelicans contract no longer guaranteed for the final 3 years. Wow. When the New Orleans Pelicans extended the contract of Zion Williamson in 2022, July 2022, it was a jubilant moment for the franchise. Basically, Williamson had an additional 5 years that he signed for $197 million with the Pelicans. The Pelicans negotiated for a risk because of the amount of games that Zion had missed in the first 3 years of the deal, according to the Athletic, Mike Verkonov at The Athletic. According to the contract, which was reviewed by The Athletic, the final 3 years of the deal are no longer guaranteed after Williamson was able to only play in 29 games last season. By missing more than 22 games last season, Williamson triggered a clause that turned the salary he is owed for the 25-26 season, 26-27 season, and 27-28 seasons from guaranteed to non-guaranteed with no financial ramifications, though rival team executives believe that would only happen in an extreme circumstances. If Williamson misses significant time this season, it could cut into his guaranteed salary for 24-25. This is incredible. This is incredible news. I can't believe it. I didn't think the Pelicans were this smart. Shout out to Dave Griffin. Again, Dave Griffin is highly overlooked as far as general managers and just running an organization. I think he had the same thing with Ty Lue. You know, the LeBron hovering over them, shadowing over them, affecting Cleveland when they won and they went on a run because LeBron is there. LeBron got most of the credit and led GM, right? And it looked like he was just being surrounded by players that LeBron wanted. But Dave Griffin goes to the Pelicans and they draft Zion, but they're still competitive. I mean, they made the trade when Anthony Davis didn't want to be there, and now you have a slew of talent with Herb Jones. Jordan Hawkins is really good, and Trey Murphy, and as well as CJ McCollum with the veteran leadership, and Brandon Ingram when he's healthy is amazing. The only thing holding them back is Zion. I've said that before. Zion is the reason why they're not a championship level team, because when you have a player like this is LeBron level. Jokic level. He's just too dominant. He's just too dominant. And they have enough players around him to make the game easier for him. But it's always like I say, the basketball gods, for some reason, the basketball gods, man, they don't give you everything. They just don't. You see it with everybody. You see it with a bunch of players. Look at John Morant. John Morant could easily be in any MVP conversation the last year or two. He's just that much more talented, that much faster. He impacts the game that much. And again, these are the top 2 draft picks in the 2018 season. It's been kind of shameful. Like, you don't want to hear about this stuff. Hopefully Zion gets back on the right track, because John Morant looks like he's starting to, even though he looks like he's the same John Morant. But not to veer off, this is amazing. I would think you're going to see more contracts like this more often, because what nobody's talking about is that these players can now be partial owners while they're owning a team, while they're playing for a team, excuse me. Once again, these players, the NBA players, can own part of the team while they're playing. They can own part of another franchise while they're playing for their own franchise. So, for instance, Giannis can own part of the Knicks while playing for the Bucks. That was in the CBA deal. As far as I'm concerned, it's true. Zion is going to be checked by future players and everything. This is just crazy. It's just crazy. All the Pelicans players haven't said anything, but Charles Barkley, Shaq, a lot of these guys came out and they spoke on it. A year or two ago, people showed them some grace. You have people defending Zion, but now, it's getting to the point where you don't just leak, an article like this. You don't just create an article like this. Part of this is the organization pushing for it. Part of this, I think, is the NBA or You know, it's a conspiracy theory, but it's somebody in the organization, for me, having enough of Zion, trying to motivate him any other way. And they're trying to figure out if embarrassment works. So, Fabian perspective, expected, so expected. We call this friendly fire. Zion is a bug out.